Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing Adventures. Today we are going to take a look at Thinkware U3000 dash cam, and I'll have sample footage, so make sure to stay till the end. Alright, so I know it's another dash cam review video, but I hope this will be the last one because this dash cam checks all the boxes I want out of a dash cam. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the specs, installing the dash cam on 2025 Honda Pilot Trailsport, sample day and nighttime footages, and my final thoughts. For the specs, the U3000 is a 2-channel dash cam. The front camera records in 4K UHD at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second in 2K with 8.4 megapixel Sony Starbus 2 sensor, 152-degree wide viewing angle with de-warping technology. It has built-in GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, super night vision, various parking modes, and not only with motion detection but with radar technology. Has intelligent ADAS safety system like front vehicle departure warning, forward collision warning, and lane departure warning, and comes with a 64GB micro SD card, but it can support up to 256GB. The exterior is made out of all plastic, but it looks and feels premium, and the front camera angle is adjustable and holds its position very well. Also has its own app, and it's the most easiest to connect and use out of all the dash cam apps I tried so far, which we'll take a look at later. Also comes with the DC power cable, mounting hardware, a CPL filter, and 1-year warranty. For the rear camera, it records in 2K QHD at 30 frames per second with 5.14 megapixel Sony Starbus sensor, 128 degrees of viewing angle, and it also features radar technology. The camera angle can also be adjusted as needed. Now, there are multiple ways to power the dash cam. First is with the standard DC plug or cigarette lighter plug, but this will power the dash cam only if the car is turned on. So if you want surveillance while the vehicle is parked, you have to hardwire it. And one way is with the optional hardwiring kit that connects to the fuse box using a fuse tap, which I have covered on my other video. So if you want to see that video, I'll leave the link in the video description. But there's another option, and that is by using the OBD plug. And I think this is the easiest and safest way to power the dash cam and use all of its functionality. So that's what we're going to do today. So with that said, let's move on to installing it on the 2025 Honda Pilot Trailsport. Alright, so first thing we need to do is figure out where we're going to mount the dash cam. And ideally, you want to place it in the middle, but it's going to hang too low here. And normally, I wouldn't recommend placing it on the dot matrix because it won't stick well. But the Pilot has acoustic glass and the dot matrix is in the glass, so we could mount it here. Next, we need to run the wire. And since I'm going to use the OBD plug, we need to run it towards the driver's side. Simply tuck the wire into the headliner using the included trim removal kit. And now we need to take the A-pillar cover off. So simply remove the cover that says airbag by using the trim removal tool and grab 10mm socket to unbolt it. Once the bolt is removed, you can now remove the cover and run the wire. But make sure the wire goes behind the airbag. Oh, and for safety measures, make sure the vehicle is off since we're working around the airbag. Once the wire is tucked away, you can now reassemble the pillar cover back on and grab the rest of the wire and hide it behind the weather stripping. The OBD plug is right under the dash, so grab the existing wire and zip tie it and plug it to the OBD plug. Now, we need to do the same for the rear camera wire, and we'll run it towards the passenger side. But instead of going down the pillar, we need to run the wire into the headliner. You can simply tuck it under the weather stripping and across the B-pillar cover and all the way down to the rear of the car. And for cleaner installation, take off the rear cover, and they're held with clips, so just pull it down and it'll come right off. And remove one of the tab for the headliner next to the rear seatbelt, and you'll see all the factory wires going into the hole that leads to the outside of the vehicle, so follow it and it'll come out of the hole. But first, you need to remove the rubber grommet and cut a small slit on the rubber grommet so that the camera wire can come out to the hatch area. Once you have enough camera wire out, you could put everything back. Next, place the rear camera and plug the wire, and make sure you wipe off the surface clean with isopropyl alcohol and wipe off any residue. And use the included cable clamps for a cleaner look, and loosely Zip tie the rest of the wire to the rubber grommet. Now plug all the wire to the front dash cam and stick it on the windshield. And don't worry about the angle of the camera just yet, but make sure the dash cam is horizontally leveled with the vehicle. Now since the dash cam doesn't have a display, we need to connect the app to get a live view. So download the app and connect the dash cam to the app by pressing the Wi-Fi button on the dash cam and connect the dash cam to it. Once connected, tap the live view tab. The live view has horizontal and vertical lines to adjust the camera angle. So adjust the lens as needed, and same for the rear camera. Now let's go into the setting menu to make any adjustments as needed. First, memory card setting. In here, you can set how the memory card is used, but I normally have everything turned on and on continuous recording, so I'll leave it as is. Next, camera setting. We could switch the resolution down to 2K, image quality, recording brightness for both front and rear camera, rotate rear camera footage, super night vision for continuous and parking mode, and I'll leave everything as is for now and see the sample footage and make adjustments later. Next, record setting. Here we can make adjustments to the voice recording, privacy recording, incident recording, and I'll try medium sensitivity. Different parking modes like motion detection, time lapse, energy saving, radar, or disable it. And I'll try radar setting. Impact sensitivity and parking mode to high, radar sensitivity to high for both cameras. And we're not using an external battery, so I'll leave that disabled. And off timer, I'll leave that disabled as well. And turn on battery protection. Vehicle type, we have regular car, hybrid car, electric car, so I'll leave it at regular car. Battery cutoff voltage to standard 12.1 volt and leave the rest as is. Next, road safety setting. Here in US, we don't have safety cameras or mobile zones, so keep that disabled. Vehicle type, SUV is fine. Now, ADAS is all the safety alert features, so keep that initialized. And under it, we have lane departure warning and at what speed it'll start to monitor. Forward collision warning, low speed forward collision warning, rear collision warning at what speed, and I'll leave it at 30 miles per hour. And enable rear collision recording and front vehicle departure warning, and I'll leave everything else as is. Lastly, system setting. Here we could change the language, volume, security LED light for both front and rear camera, time zone, daylight saving, speed unit, speed stamp on the recorded footages, Wi-Fi band, and internet. Once everything is set to your liking, go back to the main screen and disconnect from the app for the dash cam to start recording. And now for some sample footages. All right, so this is on a gloomy day with the setting we just adjusted to. And I had the voice recording disabled, so there's no sound. But if you want to capture the ambient sound, make sure to turn it on. And front camera brightness is set at high. And here's a nighttime footage with that same setting and with super night vision turned on. And honestly, I don't like it. It makes the bright areas too bright and too washed out and can't even make out the license plate number of the vehicle that's in front of us. But to be fair, the LED headlights on the Pilot is very bright to begin with, but still, it's too bright. And here I'm turning into a pretty dark street, and super night vision helps out here as you could clearly see the tree lines, but it still looks too washed out to me. So after turning off the super night vision and putting the front camera brightness to dark, this is what it looks like. And as you could tell, it's doing much better job of contrasting the brightness and the darkness. So I'll leave it at this setting. And we're turning into that same dark street. And sure, you can't see the tree line here, but overall, I much prefer this footage. And here's another footage at dusk, and it does a great job. And this is on a bright day with the same setting, but with the CPL filter added and voice recording on. And you could hear the ADAS warning sound. And this is in parking mode, and I had the super night vision turned on for parking mode. The radar function seems to do a decent job of capturing my neighbor's car coming in. And here is me walking away from my car. And this is what the dash cam lights look like from the outside of the car. So overall, I do really like this dash cam, which is a big upgrade from my first dash cam that had 4K front resolution with 1080p rear resolution. But even though it recorded in 4K, the footage was less desirable. And I also had 2K rear camera system, but it was only 2K resolution for the front camera as well. So I had to sacrifice somewhere in order to get 2K rear footage. But with the Thinkware U3000, I have the highest resolution for both cameras that you could get today. And that is exactly what I wanted. So the Thinkware definitely satisfied me there. Also, the intuitive app that is really quick and easy to connect, and with all the smart safety features, is definitely worth it. But if you don't need the highest resolution camera, they have other alternatives at much lower price points, so make sure to check them out. But even if you don't go with Thinkware dash cam, I can't stress enough of how important having a dash cam on your vehicle is. I think it's a must for everyone, and especially nowadays with all the craziness that's going on. And as a side note, in other countries other than the US, most has a dash cam hardwired to the vehicle. So they're also used as a CCTV and has actually put criminals behind bars because of the dash cam footages. So make sure to get a dash cam on your car as soon as possible. And that's all I have for you guys today. And if this video was informative, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until next time, keep chasing adventures, and I'll see you all on my next video.